clear?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, loud and clear. Thanks, Tony.
Good morning, everyone. I'm grateful to Tony for taking on the role of producer. I'm too chicken to even attempt it. So thank you, Tony. And we are light, a few people. Robert and Paul are in Rochdale, and I'm assuming that Anne and Roger are on their presidential duties. But I hope that you enjoy the service. It's going to be a bit of an interesting one about science. So we will move now on to our lighting of the chalice. And we say together, we light this candle as a symbol of our faith. By its light, may our vision be illumined. By its warmth, may our fellowship be encouraged. And by its flame, may our yearnings for peace, justice, and the life of the Spirit be enkindled. And I invite anyone to that has wants to light a candle for a joy or concern to please speak up now. We'll move on with those prayers in our hearts and sing Spirit of Life.
Spirit of life, come unto me. Sing in my heart all the stirrings of compassion. Blow in the wind, rise in the sea, move in the hand, giving life the shape path of justice. Roots hold me close, wings set me free. Spirit of life, come to me, come to me.
We now have our opening prayer. O our Mother, the Earth, O our Father, the Sky, your children we are, and with tired backs, we bring you the gifts you love. Then weave for us a garment of brightness. May the warp be the white light of morning. May the weft be the red light of evening. May the fringes be the falling rain. May the border be the standing rainbow. So weave for us a garment of brightness, that we may walk fittingly where birds sing, that we may walk fittingly where grass is green. O our Mother, the Earth, O our Father, the Sky. We'll now have our first hymn, A Melody of Love.
God speaks to us in bird and song, in winds that drift the clouds along, above the din and toil of wrong, a melody of love. God speaks to us in far and near, in peace of home and friends most dear, from the dim past and present clear, a melody of love. God speaks to us in darkness night, by quiet ways through morning bright, when shadows fall with evening light, a melody of love. God speaks to us in every land, on wave-lapped shores and silent strand, by kiss of child and touch of hand, a melody of love. O voice divine, speak thou to me, beyond the earth, beyond the sea. First let me hear, then sing to me, a melody of love.
Our story for all ages is about Louis Armstrong and how harmony rose out of disharmony from an unexpected place. Louis Armstrong was born on August 4th, 1901, into a poverty-riddled section of New Orleans nicknamed the Battlefield. His father abandoned the family when Armstrong was a child, and his teenaged mother was often forced to resort to prostitution to make ends meet. Young Louis spent much of his boyhood in the care of his grandmother, but he also found a second home among the Karnofskys, a local Lithuanian Jewish family who hired him to do odd jobs for their peddling business. The jazzman would later write that the Karnofskys treated him as though he were their own child, often giving him food and even loaning him money to buy his first instrument, a $5 cornet. He wouldn't begin playing the trumpet until 1926. And as a sign of his gratitude to his Jewish benefactors, Armstrong later took to wearing a Star of David pendant around his neck. We'll now say together the Lord's Prayer. Our Father, who art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us today our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. Lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, the power, and the glory, forever and ever. Amen. Our reading is Psalm 139. O Lord, you have searched me and known me. You know when I sit down and when I rise up. You discern my thoughts from far away. You search out my path and my lying down, and are acquainted with all my ways, even before a word is on my tongue. O Lord, you know it completely. You hem me in behind and before, and lay your hand upon me. Such knowledge is too wonderful for me. It is so high that I cannot attain it. Where can I go from your spirit? Or where can I flee from your presence? If I ascend to heaven, you are there. If I make my bed in Sheol, you are there. If I take the wings of the morning and settle at the farthest limits of the sea, even there your hand shall lead me, and your right hand shall hold me fast. If I say, surely the darkness shall cover me, and the light around me become night, even the darkness is not dark to you. The night is as bright as the day, for darkness is as light to you. For it was you who formed my inward parts. You knit me together in my mother's womb. I praise you, for I am fearfully and wonderfully made. Wonderful are your works that I know very well. My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth. Your eyes beheld my unformed substance. In your book were written all the days that were formed for me, when none of them as yet existed. How weighty to me are your thoughts, O God! How vast is the sum of them! I tried to count them, they are more than the sand. I come to the end. I am still with you. We now have our second hymn, Be True, Live Truly.
You must be true unto yourself, if truth to others you would teach. Your soul must overflow with love, if you another's soul would reach. Think wisely, truly, and your thoughts this hungry world shall help to feed. Speak truly, and your every word shall yet become a fruitful seed. Let lips be full, gentle speech, your heart respond to human need. Live truly, and your life shall be a glorious and a noble creed.
Well, I hope you enjoy this time of prayer reflection. The piece of music that I've chosen to meditate to is a blending of cultures, generations, senses, and musical traditions to create one of the most sublime pieces of music ever written, and one of my absolute favorites. The Bachianas Brasileiras are a series of 9 suites by the Brazilian composer Heitor Villa-Lobos, written for various combinations of instruments and voices between 1930 and 1945. They represent a fusion of Brazilian folk music and popular music on the one hand, and the style of Johann Sebastian Bach on the other, as an attempt to freely adapt a number of Baroque harmonic and contrapuntal procedures to Brazilian music. And this particular aria is sung by Victoria de los Angelos, and the words translate as afternoon, a slow, transparent pink cloud, about space, dreamy and beautiful. The moon appears in infinity, sweetly, decorating the afternoon like a sweet maiden who gets ready and dreamily beautiful, and the soul's yearning to be beautiful. Shouts to heaven and earth, all of nature, shut the bird to their sad complaints, and the sea reflects all his wealth. Soft moonlight awakens now, the cruel longing that laughs and cries. Afternoon, a slow and transparent pink cloud, about space, dreamy and beautiful. I hope you enjoy. Tony, are you going to stop sharing the screen or? There you all are. I have always had a fascination with the poetic nature of shapes, the way they can draw you in, such as with an ammonite, or puzzle you with their disparate shapes formed into a cohesive whole, such as a polyhedron. To me, they represent life in how, when we are in harmony with nature and humanity, we flow easily through the seemingly incongruous parts. Let us look more closely at the polyhedron. It is any solid form that is made up of many flat faces. The name comes from the Greek, many faces. Think of a soccer ball. The components, while remaining distinct, combine to create a completely different entity. The faces need not be uniform. They can be different shapes and sizes. Yet together they become something beautiful and new. An ensemble that can only exist because of the many. The ammonite has more romantic connotations. It is certainly more attractive. The more clinical definition of the fossil is an extinct sea creature or mollusk with a thick coiled shell characterized by intricate suture patterns where the septa between the individual chambers join the outer shell wall. In other words, while the intricate snail-like pattern appears to extend to infinity, the coils are made up of countless unique faces joining together. Ammonites can represent everything from change and positive motion to linking our energy to the ancient world. They are the guarantor that dreams will come true, according to the Roman natural philosopher Pliny the Elder, and named after Ammon, the Egyptian god who wore a headdress of ram's horns. Hilda of Whitby is said to have turned snakes into stone, resulting in the ammonite, hence the 3 ammonites in the Whitby coat of arms. The Blackfoot Indians used ammonites in their sacred ceremonies, and in northern India they are called salagrams and are considered symbols of the god Vishnu, whose role is to protect humanity and to restore order. Interestingly, each of its distinct chambers are referred to by these Hindus as chakras. In Scotland, ammonites are known as cramp stones, believed to be able to cure cramps in cows. And in Germany, they are called dragon stones, and putting one in milk will encourage cows to produce milk. Mathematicians will tell you that sacred geometry is an ancient science that explores and explains the energy patterns that create and unify all things. It is claimed that every natural pattern of growth or movement comes back to one or more geometric shapes. It is also said that the structures of sacred geometry are fundamental to the understanding of ourselves and all aspects of manifestation, physical, mental, and spiritual. So what does all of this have to do with the price of tea in China? Different shapes, patterns, and mathematical formulas combine to create energy and distinct entities that can flow in a positive direction is not simply symbolic, but a fundamental truth of God, humanity, creation, and the whole of the universe. The truth is that these formulae don't discriminate between cultures, religions, ages, education, sexual orientation, or level of income. They are scientific realities that flow through every aspect of creation and human endeavor. Humanity is meant to be in harmony, even when differences appear to show a lack of harmony. It is Jewish refugees reaching out to a young Black child and caring for him as one of their own. because he was. It is a Brazilian composer borrowing from a German musician who lived hundreds of years earlier and creating a harmonious and sublime piece of music that transposes soul and this earthly realm to a plane not of this world. Interfaith relations requires geometry, the disparate parts forming a whole, the combined values and beliefs, the distinct chakras and dogmas, all flowing towards an infinite truth. The world and humanity are interrelated. Fears cause us to want to break the natural patterns or sever the shapes. We worry that we will lose our uniqueness and that our differences will clash. Yet the psalmist says, "My frame was not hidden from you when I was being made in secret, intricately woven in the depths of the earth." It is our spiritual connection that unites us, but cannot negate what makes us distinctive and me. Those with differing political views or who have varying priorities or likes and dislikes are part of the cosmic polyhedron, or many faces of the divine spirit. Much of difference is to be celebrated, debated, or even just tolerated. But to deny the connection of the mathematical formulae is to repudiate reality, resulting in anger, conflict, and turmoil. As we meditate on the swirls and whirls, weft and warp of life, let us remember that we all breathe. All of us have blood pumping in our veins and an ability and a choice to acknowledge our connections, our place in the pattern, and revel in being part of the shape, shaping our own environments and the future. Amen. We now have our final hymn, Dare to Think.
Dare to think, though others frown. Dare in words your thoughts express. Dare to rise, though oft cast down. Dare the wronged and scorned to bless. Dare from custom to depart. Dare the priceless pale possess. Dare to wear it in your heart. Dare when others curse to bless. Do what conscience says is right. Do what reason says is best. Do with all your mind and heart. Do your duty and be blessed.
And we have our final blessing. We look to God, who is the wisdom and spirit of the universe, the one who gives form and breath to all of creation. Bless us as we go forth and lead us along the path that connects us and help us to add beauty and joy to the world. Amen. And we say together as we extinguish our candles, though we extinguish the light of this candle, our faith burns on. our vision remains bright, our fellowship warm, and our yearnings for peace, justice, and the life of the Spirit constant. So be it until we meet again.
Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you everywhere, everywhere you may go. Go now in peace, go now in peace. May the love of God surround you